A man claimed time travel began in 2034, then vanished into internet history. Imagine it's the late 1990s, long before social media, long before viral threads, long before screenshots traveled around the world in seconds. A late night radio host opens the phone lines. His name is Art Bell, and on Coast to Coast AM, a show already known for strange calls, unexplained encounters, and stories from the edge of belief, Bell reportedly invites people with unusual time travel claims to come forward. Then something arrives. Not a phone call, a fax, dated July 29th, 1998. The sender claims to be from the future, and one of the most striking lines says, "Time travel was invented in 2034. According to that fax, future research connected to fusion and CERN has led to what the sender called a contained singularity engine, rotating singularities inside a magnetic field, a machine that could allegedly move both forward and backward through time." Then, a second fax reportedly followed. It promised more information, including pages from the operations manual of the time machine and photographs of the vehicle. And then, silence. For roughly 2 years, nothing more publicly emerged, until November 2000. A user calling himself Time Travel Zero appeared on the Time Travel Institute forum. At first, the posts were not dramatic warnings about the future. They were technical, short, focused on time travel mechanics, paradoxes, physics, and what a functioning time machine would allegedly require. Then the claims became more direct. The user said he was not from the year 2000. He claimed he came from 2036. By January 2001, the name John Titor began appearing more widely on the Art Bell post-to-post forums. In one archived post he wrote, "Greetings, I'm a time traveler from the year 2036. According to the post, John Titor claimed to be an American soldier assigned to a future military unit. He described himself as part of an Army temporal reconnaissance operation based in a changed, damaged version of America. His mission, he said, was not to stop a war, not to prevent catastrophe, not to reveal the future to the public. He claimed he'd been sent back to 1975 to retrieve an IBM 5100 computer. That detail became one of the most discussed parts of the entire case. The IBM 5100 was released in 1975. It was an early, portable computer, heavy by modern standards, but advanced for its time. Titor claimed the machine contained important legacy capabilities needed in 2036 to solve problems with older computer systems. Later reporting and discussion focused on the IBM 5100's ability to emulate older IBM systems, a technical feature not widely known to the general public. To some, that made the claim unusually specific. To others, it simply suggested that whoever wrote the posts had access to niche technical knowledge. But either way, it gave the story something most internet time travel claims did not have: a concrete object, a real machine, a reason for the mission, and a detail people could investigate. Titor claimed his time machine was called a C204 Gravity Distortion Time Displacement Unit. According to later summaries of the post, he described 6 major components: 2 magnetic housing units for dual micro-singularities, an electron injection manifold, a cooling and X-ray venting system, gravity sensors, or a variable gravity lock, 4 main casing clocks, and 3 main computer units. He claimed the unit had been manufactured by General Electric, and at different points he said it had been mounted in a 1966 or 1967 Chevrolet Corvette, and later in a 1987 four-wheel drive pickup truck. This was not just a glowing portal. In Titor's story, time travel was mechanical, dangerous, calculated. A machine inside a vehicle using gravity distortion to move between timelines. And this is where another key idea enters the story: world lines. According to Titor, traveling through time did not place a person perfectly back into their own past. Instead, it moved them into a nearby world line, a timeline similar to their own, but not identical. He claimed his world line and ours were close, but not perfectly matched. That idea became important later because Titor made predictions. He warned of rising instability in the United States. He described civil unrest beginning around 2004. He claimed America would eventually fracture into multiple regions. He spoke of militias, weakened infrastructure, distrust in institutions, and conflict that would reshape daily life. He also predicted a wider global war in 2015, including nuclear exchanges. Those events did not happen as described. For some investigators and skeptics, the failed predictions became one of the strongest reasons to view the story as fiction. For others, the world line explanation remained part of the internal logic of Titor's claims. Not proof, but part of the reason the story continued to be debated. Because Titor had already built disagreement into the framework. If events matched, supporters could point to prediction. If events failed, supporters could point to divergence. That made the story difficult to close, and people did investigate. Forum users questioned him in real time. They challenged the physics. They questioned the timelines. They pressed him on paradoxes, proof, and contradictions. Later, journalists, online researchers, and investigators examined the posts, domain records, business links, and possible identities behind the name. One investigation connected the story to the John Titor Foundation and pointed toward Florida attorney Larry Haber and members of the Haber family. Those allegations have been discussed widely online, but the Habers denied being John Titor, and no single identity has ever been universally accepted as the confirmed person behind the original posts. That uncertainty is part of why the story remains alive, because the John Titor case is not just one claim, it is a chain of details. By March 2001, the posts stopped. No final proof, no public demonstration, no confirmed identity, just archived messages, technical claims, and unanswered questions left behind. Today, some researchers and commentators view the John Titor story as an elaborate early internet fiction or collaborative online creation. Others remain fascinated by the precision, consistency, and technical detail contained throughout the posts, and perhaps that is why the mystery still survives. Because unlike most internet legends, John Titor did not simply claim to know the future, he described it in detail. And more than 20 years later, people are still reading the posts, still debating the claims, and still asking the same question: who was really behind the name John Titor, and why did the story feel so believable to so many people?